I'm going to start. I'm going to start now with. I'm going to start with a poem. We did a festival in the summer where in Merton Abbey Mills, which is very close to, just within yards of where William Morris set up his factory in the 19th century. So I wanted to write a poem about William Morris, and also to give some idea of just how much there was to William Morris's life. And of course the poem reflects a little bit about the life he lived in Merton, where we had our festival. But anyway, this is William Morris. Here where we are tonight, William Morris set the world alight, producing textiles for discerning homes, and some whose furniture included thrones. The Queen hung his paper in Balmoral, rankling with the great man's morals. All the time his socialist heart insisted workers should share his art. He believed that wealth caused sin, and set to write the story out, how capital would take a rout. In News from Nowhere, Dream of John Ball, he showed how power would take a fall. By the Wandle he created jobs for human beings, not cogs. Kelmscott Manor, the Red House, were designed for days when all are showered in golden rays. Beauty and utility before greed and profit, a template to which craft could fit. A Marxist realist, friend of Engels, a medieval dreamer, political schemer, skillful weaver, of textiles, art and poetry, our neighbour Bill was all these things. Sharing so much with passionate friends, Rossetti, Janey and Burne-Jones, so much talent in such few homes. How many lives did William live? Enough to leave 2 epic poems, The Earthly Paradise, The Golden Loom, dancing upon a mighty tune, translations of Nordic tales, Gunnlaug, Wormtongue, Grettis, the Volsung sagas. He formed the Art Workers Guild, the Socialist League, where debate could breathe, ideas could live. Rich was the work, but time was thin. No man of flesh fit so much in. Dead at 58. A physician said, he died of being William Morris, I think. Not pleurisy, gout, or too much drink. There goes a man who never stopped, till time's winged chariot called a halt. On Wandle's banks he laid his schemes. Tonight we honour William's dreams. The river rolling through his life belongs to you, as he hoped and knew. That liberty should make us proud. Let's say it here, let's say it loud, and raise a glass to William Morris, a roaring lion with a gentle kiss. Very much. The night after Seamus died, we held a kind of wake in my home. We took out several of his collections and read aloud from the poetry and listened to his voice on CD, and obviously had a few drinks as well. And then a day or two later I wrote this lament for Seamus. A summer passed, so did you, leaving as you always did, a generous space for others. Once I saw you read in London, a benign God descended from the mountain, coupling links of the human chain. Your work travelled well. In Florence we sat up late, drinking wine, entranced by your voice and Liam's piping. Your poems lingered in the night, causing me to rise at dawn, pen my own verse, giddy with the richness of language found. And now, sad day, I come home, weighed down with groceries, hear your name on the news, which cannot be good news. What's a poet doing amid the lunchtime wars and warring? You are gone, and now forever here, leaving us alone with summer's beauty, the certain truth you fashioned from your poetry. There's a glass raised to Seamus. And this is this is a poem from Electric Light. It's a sonnet called the Gaeltacht, which, as you know, is the region of Ireland on the west coast where Irish is still spoken. I wish, mon vieux, that you and Barlow and I were back in Roscoll on the Atlantic Drive, and that it was again 1960 and Barlow was alive, and Paddy Joe and Chips Rafferty and Dicky were there talking Irish. For I believe in that case Evan Maron and Margaret Conway and M and Deirdre Morton and Neve would be there as well. And it would be great too if we could see ourselves, if the people we are now could hear what we were saying, and if this sonnet, in imitation of Dante's, where he's set free in a boat with Lapo and Guido with their girlfriends in it, could be the wild track of our gabble above the sea. I'm going to finish with two poems from my last collection, which is called Looking for Eden. This is a poem I was inspired to write after looking at Da Vinci's fresco of the Last Supper, and obviously when you look at it, what does strike you as strange is that everybody's sitting along one side of the table, which of course you don't normally do when you eat with people. But of course the painter wanted you to be able to see everyone. So I decided to write a poem imagining the restaurant where they did have the Last Supper, what they ate would actually be like, probably quite cramped. So the Last Supper. It may have been his Last Supper, but the rest of us went on to eat again. The wine was poor and the bread stale, but we had delicious oranges for pudding, torn into segments. I can't remember the name of the restaurant. It wasn't spacious and grand like in the pictures, but down a little side street we were all squashed against a wall. Latecomers had to balance plates on their knees. 13 people together can be noisy. You really had to shout to get your point across. I proposed a toast to him. He wouldn't hear of it. To us all, he said. A great cheer went up. Why didn't we just slip over the border? He would still be here now, and the Last Supper would be a forgotten meal, except for the oranges, which were delicious, and the wine, which gave me a headache next day. It happens when you eat in cheap restaurants. So this is September song, so I'm going to finish with a poem called A Song in September. It's Sunday evening and we're cooking. You're wringing the hell out of spinach. I'm beating up on eggs and cream. Large G&Ts to hand. Bessie Smith on the gramophone. A lot of bad men done her wrong. She sure fucked them first. I decant Rioja. You roll out pastry. I chop carrots. You sashay into my arms. We ain't eaten nothing killed on farms. It's Sunday evening. We've got the best seats in the house. I fry garlic and leeks. Anything we find we souse in butter of the baddest, creamiest kind. Your shape fits easily into mine. We drink red wine, we unwind. Like that robin on the tree, singing its pure September heart out. Well, I woke up this morning. I'm a bird. I'm honest. I'm free.